Hi, I'm Pramod Kumar and I'm going to teach you fundamental mechatronics and this is the topic will be the sensors. So this is objective of this lecture will be the overview of fundamental sensor and transducer to understand the application of the various sensors used in mechatronic system. So measurement is an important subsystem of mechatronic system. Its main function is to collect the information on system status and to feed it to the microprocessor controlling this whole system. Measurement system comprises of sensors, transducer, and signal processing devices. Today, a wide variety of these elements and devices are available in the market. For mechatronic system designer, it is quite difficult to choose suitable sensor transducer for the desired application. It is therefore essential to learn the principle of working of commonly used sensor and transducer. Advantage of sensor technology in manufacturing are basically employed to automatically carry out the production operations such as processes, monitoring activities. Sensors alarm the system operators about the failure of any of the subsystem of a manufacturing system. It helps operators reduce the downtime of complete manufacturing system by carrying out the preventive measures. Reduces requirement of skilled and experienced labors. Ultra precision in product quality can be achieved. These are the advantages of sensor technology. So now we'll see the definition of sensor. Basically, it is defined as the element which produces signal relating to the quantities being measured. And according to the Instrument Society of America, sensor can be defined as a device which provides a usable output in response to a specified measurement, where the output is usually an electrical quantity and measured is a physical quantity, property or condition which is to measure. Thus, in the case of say a variable in inductance displacement element, the quantity being measured is displacement and the sensor transforms an input of displacement into a change in inductance. So so now that we define the transducer, it is defined as an element which when subjected to some physical changes, experience any related changes or an element which converts a specified measurement into a usable output by using a transduction principle. It can also be defined as a device that converts a signal from one form to another form. So sensor transducer specification is given in this point. Transducer or measurement system are not perfect system. Mechatronics design engineer must know the capability and shortcoming of a transducer or measurement system to properly assess its performance. So there are number of performance related parameters of a transducer or measurement system. And these parameters are called sensor specification. So these sensor specifications inform the user about deviation from the ideal behavior of the sensor. Various specific sensor transducer systems are basically will be discussed in coming slides. First is a range. A range of a sensor indicates the limit between which the input can vary. Thus, for example, a thermocouple for the measurement of temperature might have a range of 25 to 225 degrees Celsius. And a span is the difference between the maximum minimum value of the input. Thus, the above mentioned thermocouple will have a span of 200 degrees Celsius. Error is the difference between the result of the measurement and the true value of the quantity being measured. Sensor must have a displacement reading of 29.8 millimeter, while the actual displacement had been 30 millimeter. Thus, the error is 0.2 millimeter. So accuracy defines the closeness of the agreement between the actual measurement result and the true value of the measurement. It is often expressed as percentage of the full range output or a full scale deflection. A piezoelectric transducer used to evaluate dynamic pressures phenomena associated with explosive pulsation or dynamic pressure conditions in motors, rockets, engine compression, and other pressurized devices is capable of detect pressure between 0.1 and 100 psi's, so 0.5 kilopascal to 7 megapascal. It is specified with accuracy of about plus minus 1% full scale. Then the reading given can be expected to be within plus minus 0.7 megapascal. Sensitivity is of a sensor is defined as the ratio of change in output value of a sensor to the per unit change in input value that causes the output changes. For example, a general purpose thermocouple may have a sensitivity of 41 microvolt per degree Celsius. Non-linearity basically indicate the maximum deviation of actual measured curve of a sensor from the ideal curve. Linearity is often specified in terms of percentage of non-linearity, which is defined as non-linearity percentage is equal maximum deviation in input divided by maximum full scale input. The static nonlinearity defined by above equation is dependent upon the environmental factors including temperature, vibration, acoustic noise, level and humidity. Therefore, it is important to know under what condition the specifications are valid. Now you can see this is a basically measured curve and this is ideal curve. That means there is some maximum error is basically over here. So and this is nonlinearity error. So we can have the nonlinearity error in the sensor technology. So now we'll just go to the hysteresis. Hysteresis is an error of a sensor which is defined as maximum difference in output at any measurement value within the sensor specified range when they approaching the point first with the increasing and then with decreasing the input parameter. This figure shows the hysteresis error might have occurred during a measurement of temperature using the thermocouple. The hysteresis error value is normally specified as a positive or negative percentage of a specified input value. Now you can see this is basically a specified range. You can see the this hysteresis error at this location, at the input location. You can see that one. So this is called hysteresis error. So now resolution. Resolution is the specified detectable incremental change of input parameter that can be detected in output signal. Resolution can be expressed either as proportion of the full scale reading or in absolute terms. For example, in LVDT sensor measures a displacement up to 20 millimeter and it provides an output as a number between 1 and 100. Then the resolution sensor device is 0.2 millimeter. Stability is the ability of a sensor device to give some output when used to measure a constant input over a period of time. Then term drift is used to indicate the change in output that occurs over a period of time. It is expressed as percentage of full change output. So now the deadband of transistor is a range of input value. If there is no output, the dead time of sensor device is the time of the duration of application of input until the outputs begin to respond or change. Repeatability. It specifies the ability of sensor to give output for repeated application of same input value. It is usually expressed as percentage of the value full range output. Repeatability is expressed as a maximum minus minimum value divided into 100 divided by full range. Response time describes the speed of change in the output on a stepwise change of the measurand. It is used always specified with an indication of input step and the output range for which the response time is defined. Now we'll discuss about the displacement sensor. In the displacement sensor, we have a various type of sensors. Now, first is the potentiometer sensor. This potentiometer sensor is a rotary type potentiometer sensor employed to measure the linear displacement. The potentiometer can be of a linear or angular type. It works on the principle of conversion of mechanical displacement into electrical signal, and the sensor has a resistance element and a sliding contact wiper. A sliding moves along its conductive body, acting as a movable electrical contact. Now you can see that one. So this is basically resistance strip, and this is terminal. It is called potentiometer. Coil spring is over here and sitting, and this coil is basically steering or cable is there, and threaded drum is there. This with direction, it rotates direction of linear motion if it goes in this way, that it rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Basically that depends on how it is basically rotated, and there is a strip of vapor, resistive STP is there, and based on that it generates some current. So object of this displacement is to be of whose displacement is to measure is connected to the slider by using a rotating shaft for angular displacement or moving rod for linear displacement. Cable with that is kept stretched during the operation. So that is basically for the linear as well as rotatory motion, where displacement can be measured. The resistive element, that is wire, cone, track or conductive plastic. The track comprises of a large number of closely packed turns of a resistive wire. Conductive plastic made of a plastic resin embedded with a carbon powder. Wire-wound track has a resolution of the order plus minus 0.01%, while the conductive plastic may have the resolution of 0.1 micrometer. So this way, this is the sliding contact, this is resistive element, this is the potentiometer electric circuit, this is a schematic diagram of that circuit of the potentiometer displacement sensor. Now you can say the voltage is equal to I, that means current into resistance, but I equal to given by I Vs divided by Ra plus Rb. Therefore Va can be defined, Va can be derived from the above formula, as we know that R is equal to rho L divided by A, where rho is the electric resistivity, L is the length of resistor, and A is the area of the cross section. In this way, so voltage A can be found out in this formula. So application of this potentiometer is these sensors are primarily used in the control system with a feedback loop to ensure that a moving member or component reaches its commanded position. These are typically used on machine tool, control, elevator, liquid level assemblies, forklift trucks, automobile throttle control. In manufacturing, these are used in control of injection molding machines, woodworking machines, primer printing, spraying, robotic, etc. These are also used in computer monitoring and sports equipment. Now we'll see about the strain gauge. The strain gauge is an element of strain is an element is the ratio of change in length in the direction of applied load to the original length of an element. The strain changes the resistance of the element. Therefore, we can say that delta R by R is proportional to the strain. So delta R upon R is the constant of proportionality into a strain, where G is the constant of proportionality and is called gauge factor. In general, the value of G is considered in between 2 to 4, and the resistance are taken of the order of 100 ohm. So this is the connection lead and this is the connection pad. So with this is the wire and metal file. So if there is a change in a strain, this change in this length, so we can if there is change in length, we can have the strain, and accordingly we can just measure the change in resistance, and based on that we can measure the strain in that. If there is change in change of because of change in strain, because of a strain, there will be change in resistance, and accordingly we will change in current also. So strain gauge is an element. The ratio of change in the length in the direction of applied load is the original length of element. The strain changes the resistance R of the element. Therefore, this which is the constant, and the Wheatstone bridge. In Wheatstone bridge, we can see that one. This is the R1 and R2 and R2. This is R3. Then this is RX. That means if you want to know about this resistance, and this is the voltage. This is the voltage of this voltage of the battery. And then we can using this Wheatstone bridge, we can find the change in we can find the strain, or we can find the resistance. So resistance gauge allows the principle of change in resistance as per the equation mentioned. So this is the equation. We already seen that one. It comprises a pattern of resistive file arranged as shown in the figure earlier, what we have shown in the rotational breeze. This change is basically this change in resistance can be detected by using Wheatstone resistance breeze. In the balanced breeze, we can have a relation that means R2 by R1 equal to Rx by R3. So this way we can find this Rx, or accordingly we can find the strain. So in this way, with the finding of Rx or resistance, we can find the strain, or with the strain we can find the resistance. The application of strain gauge is strain gauges are widely used in experimental stress analysis and diagnosis on the machine and failure analysis. They are basically used for the multi-axial stress, fatigue testing, proof testing, residual stress and vibration measurement, torque measurement, bending and deflection measurement, compression and tension measurement, and stress measurement. Strain gauges are primarily used as sensors for machine tools and safety in automotive. In particular, they are employed for force measurement in machines, pneumatic pressures, and aerospace vehicles. So these are the questions: what are the sensor and how it changes the mechatronic system, and write down the specification of sensors, and write brief notes on the displacement sensor and strain gauge. Since we understand what are the sensors and how are different types of sensors are basically used, since we use the sensor in the coming lectures also, because lots of sensors are there, what we are going to study it. However, you are going to study the sensors and sensors and actuators in the different subjects also, because you have the different types of sensor and actuators in different subjects. Though those subjects will have combined will have a combined effect, but in this one we'll just give you as a brief description about the sensors. And these are the basically books. Textbooks are basically, these are the textbook and reference books, and some of the reading materials will be given to you, and that reading materials will have most of the them will be taken from the NPTEL, which the link of that will be given shortly. And basically the YouTube video which we have mentioned over here is given, the reference of the link of that video is given over there, and you can just see that link also. And finally, thank you so much for your kind attention, and any doubt and any queries, you can contact me. And thank you for listening this one. So bye, have a nice time.